All right, doing a short video because someone asked for what I did to get the wiring to be not too out of control for all the bulbs. Pardon my voice, I came down with the stupid flu or a cold or something right out of nowhere. So anyways, pushing through. So here's the driver's side, and as you can see, there's my two bulbs that are installed. The low beam on the outside corner, and there's the high beam installed there. So I'm going to try to point, try to light as best as I can here, but I don't want to wash out the video. So hopefully the trouble light won't be trouble. Haha. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, so this will do. So this control module, or whatever this happens to be, it's probably the biggest pain in the butt for putting in this bulb, just as a side note. So the high beams are direct fit. I didn't have to use the adapter, so at least it saved length there. So what you can see is here is the inline. It's not a whatever. Anyways, it's probably capacitors. I can't think right now. All fog-brained. New Year's Day and being under the weather. If these were HIDs, that would be a ballast, but that's not a ballast. It's a power regulator for the LEDs. Anyways, this is the one that goes to the low beam, and you can see that I've actually got that on the little wiring harness that I got from ProLights, where I ordered these bulbs from, because this doesn't seem to pin to the harness down here from the actual car. So unless I was just putting it in wrong, but at any rate, I've used that harness on both sides. It works fine. I haven't had any issues with flickering or anything like that. So what I did, as you can see, I've got a zip tie here and a zip tie here and another zip tie over here, and I stuck to attaching this stuff to electrical everywhere where I could. I'm getting myself out of focus or out of frame. I stuck to electrical everywhere I can, because that's electrical and that's electrical down there, and that's the electrical for the harness here. And I got everything on snugly so that there's not a lot of movement. You can tell I've got these two modules so that they're not banging into anything. I'm going to switch sides. Wonderful engine bay of a Canadian car. So over here, as you can see, there's a whole lot more room. Pardon me. So on this side, there's a lot more room. This AC line is the high pressure side from the H. As you can see, I am not attached to that. I'm also not attached to the coolant line down here. And I am not attached to these rubber hoses, which is coolant overflow, I believe. Or this rubber hose down here. I am only attached to electrical. So again, here you can see on the side, of course, I couldn't find my blacks the day I did this one, so green, so you can see them real easy. And there's some black down there that just kind of keeps things a little out of the way. And again, except for a little bit of touch from this harness here, all these modules are all either snug and not going anywheres, or not set up to rub against any wiring. So there's your high beam down in there. There's a low beam on this side. Here's on the passenger side again. And I just kind of kept everything all tight in there. And it was kind of, I don't know, hard and easy on both sides, but just you had to come up with a different strategy, because this has a lot more space. It gives you a little bit more opportunity to let the stuff sag down. Where, again, just to go back over to the other side, even though I know you can rewind, over here, there's a lot less depth. I know there's some depth down underneath here where I can reach my hand and pull, but because of this big module, I didn't want to get anything too messy. And yeah, if you're wondering, believe it or not, I did actually get that bulb in there with this in place still. It wasn't fun, but I did it. I just didn't want to disconnect that because I'm not really sure what that was. I didn't bother to look it up. I was more interested in getting the bulbs in, to be honest about it. So that is how I've got those set up in there. And hopefully anybody who's wondering about how to kind of zip tie those and keep them out of the way of, well, obviously whirling dervishes like an alternator or getting down anywhere else near serpentine belts down in there, that's obviously not a good thing. And obviously on the driver's side, the goal is to keep it below the hood line and to keep everything from crashing into itself and all that wonderful jazz. So anyways, I've rambled long enough. Hopefully this is useful for somebody. And time to go back inside where it's warmer, where I can have some more coffee. All right, thanks again for watching.